Have you ever walked down the street and seen a woman and thought, oh my gosh, she's just too old, too fat, or too thin to be wearing that outfit? I think we're judgmental by nature. I must confess that I am. And I know that I've done that, and I've criticized other women in my own head. And, okay, I know I've been criticized by the fashion experts, too. We're all judgmental by nature. So my question is, what happens when that criticism is turned on us? Well, I have asked celebrity stylist, designer, and celeb himself, Philip Block, to show us how to dress our age. Philip, why am I so lucky to have you on my show? What are you doing in New York City, and especially here at Grand Central?
Well, we're doing this extraordinary event with the NFL and Vogue, and it's all about empowering women and the diversity in women. Our show tonight is basically, I have models from 16 years old to 66 years old. I have models that are a size 0 to a size 16. I don't think I've ever seen a show in my entire career like that.
Okay, well, now you're bringing up the model myth that
yes.
all models look good in everything. Is this true or false?
You know, there's been a few pieces that we just couldn't find the right person for. Different clothes require a different body structure, a different body silhouette, so not everything looks good on everybody, even models.
Right, so then give me some no-nos for, in general, for every woman.
Oh, no.
Or older women. Let's go older women, because I think older women really have a problem with dressing.
I think it's really important to look young and feel young, but you can't look like your daughter. You know, if you're going to wear your daughter's clothes, you got to kind of dress them up so that they match your lifestyle. I think it's very important to dress appropriately. I always say that is the key word, such as sexy, not slutty.
Well, Vogue is your partner today, but sometimes Vogue has 16-year-olds who are wearing outfits, and then you see a 60-year-old wearing it. It just looks not right. Do you need to pick and choose what you wear?
Absolutely, and pick your trends wisely. I never think that you have to buy all the trends. You have to find trends that work for your body. We were talking before, and I said one of my favorites is the movie Gypsy Rosalie, and she says you got to bump it with a trumpet, accentuate the positive. And that's what you have to look for. Don't just buy a trend because it's a trend. Buy a trend because it works for your body. I want you, when you buy clothes and you look in the mirror, say, does this make me look good or does this make me look better? The answer should always be better. Don't just look good in something. You're spending your hard-earned money on it. Look better than you do.
All right, you also have another.
Yes, I always say, you know, always spend, I don't care if you spend $20 on a dress, spend $40 tailoring it. Tailoring is so important. Like we did with a lot of the jerseys and stuff today, we fit everything so it fits like a glove, so you feel like $1 million. Anybody can look like a movie star. You just have to treat yourself like one and spend a little extra money on the tailoring.
Do you think that some women get stuck in a style that represents a time in their life when they were happiest and they just can't see themselves?
You mean me at my age wearing a baseball cap every day?
Well,
yeah,
I know why you're wearing.
You're
doing the NFL today. You're doing NFL fashions with Vogue. So, I mean, of course, it's important for you to wear the hat. But, I mean, women in general, like sometimes you see a woman wearing blue eyeshadow and you know, oh, she was in the 60s where she had her best time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get stuck in that. But again, you have to move forward. You've got to try something different. Sometimes you have to look at yourself with a whole clean slate. A lot of times people will say, oh, I can't wear that color. I don't wear that color. If you've never worn it before, try it today. Try something different. Just try something different. Change is good. Change is really good. And as you go through the decades, I find one of the hardest things I have with women is a lot of times bras. They're undergarments. They don't know how to fit them right. And suddenly, you know, things are down here that used to be up here. And they'll say, oh, well,
including your butt, by the way.
Including your butt, which is way down there. And they'll say, oh, well, I've been wearing this bra for years. It always works for me. It's like, yeah, you've been wearing it for years.
Time to change up. My mom wants you to know that she's a big fan, but also that she's questioning how come designers don't design for women of age. You know, they don't want to show the décolleté. They don't want to show their sagging jawline, and they don't want to show their underarm, you know, that are flopping in the wind. And certainly the knees are an issue.
Oh, the knees. Yeah, the knees. Shoulders are always good, though. Shoulders last forever. Shoulders always stay very young. I think it's very important for women to realize it's not just the designers, it's what the stores buy. You know, if you go into a store now this season, all you're going to see is a motorcycle jacket. You could want a different kind of jacket, but you're only going to find a motorcycle jacket this season because that's what all the designers are going to do. So sometimes you have to realize you're not going to always find what you think you're going to find in a store. So when you find something you like, I say buy it in every color, buy a couple of them. And I think another reason is, in point to your question, is in the market research shows that women of a certain age just don't buy clothes anymore because they already have it. They've already worn it, or they saw bell bottoms and they hated them. And
I think that's what my mother's saying, is that she and her women friends have money to spend, but there isn't anything to buy. So is this a catch-22? There's nothing to buy, so women aren't spending?
It's kind of a catch-22. It really is, and I think that, there's a lot of that in this industry. There's a lot of myths that don't get broken, and I think that, you're never going to find everything you want if you set out on a certain day to find a certain thing. I think now more than ever, because
I think a lot of older women do that.
Yeah.
They set out to find something.
Yeah, this specific thing, I'm looking for this, and you may not find it. If try and find something yellow right now, you're not going to find it in the store.
Yeah. Emmy was saying that she has a very hard time as a large size woman finding things in her size. She thinks that designers just design for a very thin slither of people.
Absolutely. And the stores do not buy it. A lot of it is the stores. We blame it on the designers, but a lot of it is the store. And you have to say something to the stores. Speak up and say, I'm not finding what I want. Write them a letter like you would write your congressman about something you don't like in politics. Write to a store and say, I don't like this.
Excellent thought.
Telling the salesperson the story isn't really going to go very far.
Yeah, because they've probably heard it over and over, and they turn a blind ear.
Absolutely.
A deaf ear.
Exactly.
Blind eye, deaf ear.
Exactly.
Well, Philip, I know that you have to run, as do I.
I have a few ladies backstage waiting for me.
Thank you so much for
my
your time.
Pleasure,
I really
my pleasure.
appreciate it.